To the situation in the United States next, where hospitals and healthcare workers there, too, are bracing for the situation to get much worse. These are scenes from New York, which is the U.S. epicenter for the virus. It has more than a third of all U.S. cases, New York State, and about 2/5 of all coronavirus deaths. Looking to numbers nationwide, over 5,000 dead, and now very close to 250,000 confirmed cases. And this is putting a major strain on the healthcare resources in the United States, extending to manpower, to hospitals, to critical equipment. New York City and New York State pleading for more medical gear. And as our senior Washington editor, Lindsay Duncombe, joins us, we want to focus in on all of that. We're hearing about the stockpile. I was talking about the Canadian stockpile. There's one in the United States, too, but it has been very rapidly depleted. What is that story, Lindsay?
Well, Donald Trump was asked about this at the briefing yesterday at the White House, and he said, yes, the stockpile of medical equipment, which would include gloves and masks and other protective gear, is depleted, he said. Now, the reason the president gave for that is he said that these things are being shipped directly from manufacturers to hospitals. But the Washington Post is reporting, quoting unnamed Department of Homeland Security officials, that there was really never enough stuff for a 50-state pandemic in the stockpile at any time. And what we've seen building over the past several weeks and really intensifying as the number of cases grows is, instead of a national coordinated response over equipment, remember Donald Trump said that he didn't want to be a shipping agent, many of these governors in these states are complaining because they are competing against each other in bidding wars to get this gear, and often they're being outbid by people from other countries or agencies from other countries. All this as Mike Pence, the vice president, delivered a really stark warning yesterday, comparing the situation here in the United States to Italy. Here's what he said.
We think Italy may be the most comparable area to the United States at this point for a variety of reasons.
As you said, Lindsay, that is a very stark comparison and gives you pause to think about, given the scenes that we've seen of Italy. New York, we've talked about as having been the epicenter, but there are a number of other states which are emerging as major points of concern, and Florida is one of those.
Yeah, Florida has 7,000 cases right now, and there's real concern about the growth of cases in the Miami area, as well as areas that would be familiar to Canadians around Walt Disney World and Tampa. So that is why, finally, some would say, the governor of Florida put in a stay-at-home order for the whole state. He had wanted to sort of keep it to specific jurisdictions where there were outbreaks or hotspots, but under pressure from both federal officials after talking to the president, Florida is now under a stay-at-home order. And that means that about 3/4 of all Americans are, just like I am, at home, not going anywhere else because of state-mandated orders. And there has been some pressure, including from Democrats, for Donald Trump to do the same, but he doesn't have the same kind of powers. Really, in this situation, those sorts of orders are enforceable by states and governors.
Lindsay, thank you very much. Lindsay Duncombe reporting.